Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to preview the St Kilda Saints AFL Fantasy for 2023. Remember to like and subscribe as more regular content will come back as I go through the rest of the comp. I believe St Kilda finished 10th last year, so we have 9 more reviews after this, so hopefully that will get them all done before the AFL preseason or official preseason games get underway around the 21st, 22nd, I believe. So now on to the players from Saints. So first off, you have Jack Steele, a little bit of a down year, got injured. He didn't really look his usual self, even though he did average 110. So I think he could be very, very good upside here. Very, very good upside. And the problem I have is that he's got that injury now. He's also new coach as well, could spice things up. And you see here, he did drop a 65 here, but he finished the year with a 139. So I think he's very, 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 very good value once he... The problem I have, though, is just trying to fit him into my side. So could I try and maybe go get rid of Petrarca and bring in Steele? Could do, but I don't think that's the best option. I think Petrarca is going to be one of those guys that surprises people and goes 110, 115. So yeah, I think Steele has a huge range. He could easily go 120 here, or he's probably I'm pegging them in between 112 and 120 this year. Brad Crouch, is he suspended for round 1? He might be. If we look at his profile, you'll see. I think he got a 3-game suspension to end the year and to start next year. Did he? Maybe not. Maybe it was someone else. Yeah, I think he does have a suspension after the Brisbane game. If we look here, Brisbane game, and then Sydney. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he's suspended round 1, so that pretty much crosses him out for AFL Fantasy. Wise, he is a good guy for draft, but talking AFL Fantasy here, the classics, no. Sinclair, 102. I'm very doubtful he keeps this up. I think he drops 5 or so points and goes down to 98. But I think he does... he still holds very good value. I just think I want players that aren't going to necessarily drop in value unless they're a key position that I almost have to have. And I think Sinclair's owned by 13%. I want players that are owned by like 30 or so percent. Like Tim English 28 and Dunkley 53%. Those are the guys that you can have a little bit of drop in value because over half the comp owns Dunkley, over a quarter of the comp owns English, even Mitchell, who I think does have upside, 36% owned. He is gonna probably drop it probably not get up to the expectation of others, but he still has 36% owned, so it's almost like a whole comp's going to cop it. Nick Day costs 45% owned. So these type of guys, you can actually take a risk on them in picking them because a lot of the comp is picking them. So with Sinclair, I think there's that risk there that he drops in value, but he'll go down to 98, and that I think there's more value in picking up someone else and spreading out the cash rather than spending it on big players and hoping rookies get big scores. Another guy, Brad Hill, I've heard he's going to go onto the wing. Yeah, just don't pick him. I originally had him in my squad at one point, but that was before I think we started to come out with the Bows and the Yos and the Millerers and stuff and Sheeds, when you really didn't know the mid prices class. So he's just not there. And then Mason Wood's an interesting one because like Darcy Tucker, I think if he goes into the midfield, like he's a midfielder here, he can easily go and average 80, 85, but I think you just need him 10 points cheaper here. A lot of guys here just don't go. And then I've seen Hunter Clark pop up a couple of times. He's owned by 0.85% of the fantasy community. 54 last year and 72 the year before. I think he could go 75 or so. And 75 would price him around, what is that? 75 would put him around 660k, so there's not enough upside there, in my opinion. So probably a no-go, although he could easily go and balloon off and then you have a 80, 85 point scorer, in which a lot of players would have missed out on. Nothing really down here. A lot of injuries, so as I go further down, you realise Max King's injury affects the rucks, which could affect Marshall in here. We'll actually talk about Marshall now. So Marshall is a guy that if he doesn't have a ruckman there and he's solo rucks, he'll average 110. If he has a ruckman there, not named Tom Campbell, he averages 90. If he has a Tom Campbell there, he averages 60. Because he'll be the forward, because Tom Campbell cannot go forward as efficiently as Rowan Marshall, as seen in this game here. Here, Haynes injured for, I think Campbell's also injured as well, which could help Rowan Marshall. Then you have Windhager. I believe he was on a tagging role last year. I think he comes off that tagging role and could average 75 or something. So he's an interesting one. Could he average more than Callahan and some other players? He could. So could he be in line to get into my midfield rotation? It's a hard one because you basically have, for me, with the price ranges here, you have Sheed I'm pretty much destined to go with. So you have Callahan, Warple and Windhager here. And then you have Rowbottom and Green here. And I kind of want to get a GWS player. And I want to get as many players from different teams as I can get, as I don't want to start stacking up players from the same teams and ending up stuffing up my buy rounds. So Windhager is one that I'm seriously looking into. No other good players down here. Then you go down to Owens, and I'm pretty high on this guy again. As 2022, he had a high score of 95. He had an 11 in there, which was injury. Another injury here, another injury here. If you take out those injuries, one, he's priced at 53. I think he could easily go and score, 33 off, so that's 5 games. He averages 67 if you take out those injuries. Now, if you play him regularly, I think he averages 70. And he's priced at, what's he priced at this year? I think he's priced dead on 50. He's priced just below 50 at like 48. So if he can get to 70, he's probably a good pick here. So again, he's another option for this Wayne Miller pick here. And that helps me get into the, he is a high risk player, in that I don't know if he has the job security as the Wayne Miller would. But if I can slot him in here and then go and save myself 20k or so that I do, then I can get up to the likes of a Tom Green here, as well as, and it's just it gives me more options basically is what I'm trying to say here. Cofield, another guy to look in preseason. Does he get the game round 1? I think he could easily get a game, and he could easily average 60 or 70. So he's one that I'm leaning against, but he's also an option. Philippou, I believe he has an injury. If he doesn't have an injury, it's named round 1. It's just a straight swap for Sheasel. Then you'll see some movement around in my team as that 14k enables me to get some more players in. It will probably enable me to go Sheasel out, Philippou in, then gets dropped Wayne Miller down to someone just a little bit cheaper, and then get in Warple and Green. I think that would be probably a good option. But as we look now, that's the team that I have at the moment, because Philippou, I believe, has a calf injury. Connolly, another guy I've looked into just for that defender spot. I think he probably might get a game early. I don't think necessarily round 1, but getting a game early will be able for us to bring him in, get some value out of him, get him out of the team, and upgrade the team. And then you get down to Kessler, a ruck option, and Heath, a ruck option. These guys I've just highlighted because they might play with all the ruck commotion that's going on at the Saints, especially ruck and key forward, being that they need probably 2 rucks and a key forward, and they currently have only 1 ruck and no key forward. So you expect some forward to play. It's just, do they go with the rookie or the pretty raw talent in Max Heath? I don't know. We'll see. Did I miss anyone? Anyone on my bench? I don't think I missed anyone here. I only have Rowan Marshall. So that's the team that I have. Remember to like and subscribe, as showing up on here, only 3.5% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed and 96% aren't. So if we could get that number up, the subscribe number up to 5, 6, 7%, that'd be much better. If you want to watch my other videos, my other previews, go up into the corner. And if you want to watch my other AFL Fantasy Team Reveal content, then there will be another playlist on screen. Thanks and goodbye, everyone.